It's 3 a.m. I'm calling in to tell you that without you here, I'm losing sleep. I'm losing sleep. Ever sound around this lonely house is leaving me filled with fear. I'm losing sleep. I'm losing sleep. And I know what it's like to be a child scared of the night. Please don't stop loving me, loving me. Ooh, 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 ooh. Wanting me like you do. Please don't stop caring now, caring now. Ooh, 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 ooh. Caring now like you do. I know you have to work out there, it's all the best, but can't you see? I'm losing sleep. I'm losing sleep. And I know what it's like.
Good evening and welcome to The Nest. I'm your host, Maureen Waititu, and here on The Nest we discuss real stories from real people. And tonight's show is no different. It's amazing, mind-blowing, and you cannot afford to go anywhere because we'll be right back after this short video.
The World Health Organization defines maternal mental health as a state of well-being in which a mother realizes her own abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to her community. Life changes around pregnancy and could make women more vulnerable to mental illness. Since 2016, World Maternal Mental Health Day is commemorated on the first Wednesday of May every year. This year it falls on the 4th. World Maternal Mental Health Day draws attention to essential mental health concerns for mothers and families. In many countries, as many as 1 in 5 new mothers experience some type of perinatal mood and anxiety disorder. These illnesses frequently go unnoticed and untreated, often with tragic and long-term consequences to both mother and child. Women of every culture, age, income level, and race can develop perinatal mood and anxiety disorder. Symptoms can appear anytime during pregnancy and the first 12 months after childbirth. There are effective and well-researched treatment options available to help women recover from this. Increasing awareness will drive social change with a goal towards improving the quality of care for women experiencing all types of perinatal mood and anxiety disorders and reducing the stigma of maternal mental illness. It is advisable to encourage friends and relatives of new moms to ask oftenly how they are doing and checking up on them. On the show today, we join the world to commemorate World Maternal Mental Health Day.
My name is Sadra Khisa. I am an artist and a mental health advocate. I volunteer for an organization inaitwa Basic Needs, Basic Rights Kenya, and I'm also a mother to a 4-month-old baby. I grew up in a family of mostly boys. I was raised with 2 brothers and an older brother mwenye alikuwa shule, so yeye hatukuwa like interactive sana na yeye, but wenye tulikuwa immediate tumefuatana, they were boys and we used to play together. And at some point I had to realize now that I'm a girl, and I started now seeking female friends, interacting with people who are a bit older than me, kama cousins wenye ni wakubwa kiasi, ili nipate female role models. Pia my mother helped me with that. My parent system, naweza sema ni mixed parenting style, because kuna some cases of indiscipline zenye zilikuwa zina warrant kupigwa. Alafu kuna zile zenye ulikuwa labda unakuwa grounded, unaambiwa leo utawatch your favorite program, ama wewe kaa hapo kwa bedroom for a while and think about what you have done. Yes, I can say they were diplomatic in their parenting na ulikuwa able to raise concerns if you felt like something was not happening ama going on vile unafeel inakufavor. It made me feel like my opinion mattered, na I think that was a contributing factor ikafanya hadi I got into music festivals na drama festivals, because I felt like my voice mattered. Whatever I had to say, it mattered to the world and to the people around me. In primary school, I was in a day school, and the thing with day schools, unapatanga kuna a lot of students and the teachers wako, but sasa at the end of the day kila mtu anarudi home. So nikiwa shule, there was a way that I could interact with my friends. Nikakuja kurealize kumbe not everyone is being raised the same way that I'm being raised. Not everyone can voice their opinions to their parents. And I learned that kumbe there's different ways of raising children. And at home, when I used to go back home and explain to my parents how maybe a certain parent treats a certain student mwenye tunasoma naye, walikuwa wananielezea pia kuniambia si kila mtu kwa dunia like ako anafanana, ama kila mtu huwa hafanyi kitu the same way, so we are all different, na ikanifundisha that being different is okay. When I was going through puberty and adolescence, tulikuwa tushafundishwa shuleni, which I think is a good step. So when it started happening, of course, even though you think that you will do it like this and this, there's a way that your own body and your own mind will react differently. So to some extent, I became a bit more opinionated, and I noticed that now, sometimes I would say something in school and it gets me into trouble, when normally when I say things like it's not hakuna as dire consequences kama before. I think because maybe now I was growing up and understanding things a bit better. So career yenye nilipick ni agricultural economics, but I'm not practicing right now. And the reason why I picked that was because napenda hesabu na napenda pia agriculture, and I thought maybe I can mash the two. And in university things were a bit different kabisa sasa kushinda high school na primary, kwa sababu in high school and primary school huwa unafuatwa, unaambiwa fanya hivi. But now in university you have to be responsible for your own self and take care of your own issues. No one will come and tell you hujafanya hii, so you have to be responsible. And that's when now I started learning that pia mimi, my own choices have consequences zenye zinani affect, apart from kuaffect watu wengine, zinani affect pia. At some point I was experiencing depression, and during that time I felt like if I had not had the kind of information yenye nilikuwa nayo, most likely things would have been worse for me. In university, first of all, there's a lot of peer pressure, and if you are not careful, you can easily be swept away by hizo pressures za life, the other students, like you expect. Sasa unajua tena kuna hiyo sense of this is the new trend, you have to follow this trend, and if you're not capable of understanding who you are and sticking to your character, it can be easy to get swept up in that. So I thank God that pia my parents had instilled a strong sense of self, in that nilikuwa naji-understand na najua mimi ni nani na najielewa, so ikanisaidia siku get swept into peer pressure. And at some point I remember, you know, if you're not following this trend now, it's like you're not cool, but I stuck to being who I am. Hadi nika realize now other people are coming to ask me, how can I do this and this? I find it hard to say no, and I realized that pia hapo university my voice still mattered. Of course, okay, nilianza kujoin hizo co-curricular activities nikiwa nursery school, so nilianza singing games, alafu nikajoin hizo music na drama all the way through high school. And I learned that there are so many other unique characters. I came to come into contact with so many other cultures, and okay, ukikosa kukuwa na hiyo sense of self again, you can easily lose yourself. But I'm glad that I was able to stay true to who I was, and also walimu wetu kwa shule yenye walikuwa pia wanatu instill na hiyo sense of self. They used to talk to us kabla tutoke shule, senye labda tunaenda funky, tunaambiwa, and remember who you are, remember where you're coming from, remember this school is like this and these are the rules. Mkifika huko msipate wanafanya hivi, saa muingilie tu just because it is the trend. Yes, so that was my experience with other cultures. After now university, unajua unakuja out into the real world, now you're expected to implement hizo vitu zote zenye umelearn, and kuna hizo pressure za lifestyle. Sasa tumetoka kwa zile za youth, tumeingia sasa kwa za lifestyle. Oh, this is how you should live if you are in Nairobi. Huku huwa hatuvai hivi. And I experienced a lot of different opinions from people, but through it all nilikuwa nakumbuka mimi nimetoka wapi. This is how I was brought up, and these are the values that were instilled in me. And during dating, you come and meet someone who is completely different, raised by completely different people from your parents, so unaona sometimes mnaweza kuwa mna clash. But kama nilikuja ku understand that if you have the same values, core values, zile wachana na okay, kuna intrinsic values na core values. If you have the same core values, you will be able to understand each other na maybe work through things. Hata mnaweza partner pamoja mfanye business. I'm talking about now any type of relationship, whether family, friendship, business or romantic. So nikakuja ku understand that sahi na vile niko nje nafaa niangalie kama mtu tuna share the same core values before I just become friends with someone. I must start relating with someone, because if you have different core values, nita clash. From my friends now, one thing that I'm glad pia my parents instilled in me, they taught me that in every person kuna kitu at least kadhaa zenye ni mzuri. Hata kama mtu tunaweza sema akona very bad character, there's still something that you can learn from that person. So I tried to learn as much as I could from people around me, from friends, and also be there for my friends. If I notice that my friend is going through something and I can help, I can talk to them, I can direct them to where they can get help, nika notice pia it's good to interact with others, to have good relationships with others. Na pia mimi ni vizuri pia ni expect that I can get advice and help from other friends, because if one thing I learned, if I just give and I'm not getting any support back, inakuwa depleted. And that's when I learned about self-care. And one of the ways I used to care for myself is through music. So I pursued music hadi saizi bado na pursue music. It's a passion for me. And through my music, I came to learn that when I put something into a song, itakuwa watu wengi wataisikiza. So I have to be very careful the kind of message that I am relaying out there, because it can either make or break a person. So I met the father of my child through this mental health work that I do, and hata yeye aliweza kushare about his own mental health struggles, and through that we came to get a child together, tukabuild friendship, tukakuwa a couple, and now we have a child together. I experienced depression at some point in my life, kwanzia tuseme maybe high school, from the time I was joining high school, and it was due to being affected by post-election violence. So during that time when I was experiencing depression, pia ikaamsha kumbe nilikuwa na anxiety disorder from a very young age, so ikaamsha pia hiyo ikakuwa depression and anxiety. And during that time when I was seeking healing, I experienced a lot of challenges. One, because hakuna awareness on mental health sana, and two, because therapy pia is a bit expensive in Kenya. Kama ujui where to go and who to talk to, unaweza zunguka sana ukitafuta therapy. So I experienced those problems, and after a while I'm glad that I came to get healing, and it happened before I got the baby now, before I delivered the baby. When I was seeking healing, a cousin of mine heard that I was going through depression, and alinipeleka Mata Hospital. Juu nilikuwa nimetafuta sana therapy, sikuwa nimepata, and at Mata Hospital nikapata session ya kwanza for free. So that was a very very important thing yenye mimi nilifeel ilinisaidia sana. That first therapy session, it opened the door for my healing, and after that I was able to get 3 more sessions of therapy. Rafiki yangu alinilipia, kumbe cousin yake alikuwa psychologist. So hapo ndo sasa nilianza kujua umuhimu wa therapy, umuhimu wa kuchunga mental health yako, na that through therapy, even though as a like African culture we don't really advocate for therapy, but I came to learn that therapy really works. That first therapy session ndo huwa mimi na credit for most of my healing, kwa sababu you can be going through a lot, you're overthinking, and unashindwa kupata solutions, unashindwa unpack trauma labda yenye umepitia. But through that first session ndo nilikuja kurealize what my triggers are, nikakuja kurealize why I even fell into depression in the first place. Because I used to just say I'm depressed, but if someone asks me why I'm depressed, I don't know. But through that first therapy session, I got to unpack and understand a lot of things also about myself. During that period when I was trying to heal from depression, I realized kama it was that hard for me to get help, despite all the information I had. Actually, my mother studied educational psychology. So despite all that information and vile hata watu karibu na mimi wako wanajua a little about mental health, what about mtu mwenye hajui anything completely? So nika take it upon myself, because I did not want someone to go through what I went through to take such a long time kupata treatment. Nikaanza kupost information about mental health on Facebook kwa page inaitwa Mental Health KE. And it was just to create awareness, kusaidia mtu mwenye labda anatafuta information na hana information, hajui wapi kupata information. And through that page sasa ndo nilikuja nikajua about this initiative ya Basic Needs, Basic Rights Kenya. Currently they are running an anti-stigma campaign. It was okay at first, the campaign was running in 5 countries, but now we are focusing on Kenya. So that's when I came to learn about them, and they gave me a wider platform. So we're tunaenda different places where we can engage members of the public and speak about mental health. We have one-on-one conversations where I share my experience as a person with a lived experience of a mental health problem, kujaribu kuspark curiosity ya mwenye naongelesha, ama maybe kumsaidia kupata more information, kujua how to look for the signs. Yes, but we don't advise people, and we are not therapists. We just go to share our experience, to spark conversation, because we believe that conversations change lives. The main mental health problem that I can say is being experienced currently in Kenya by all ages na all demographics ni depression. And I don't know if it's because of the current lifestyle that we are living, ama maybe COVID pia ilichangia. I think COVID ilichangia, but depression saizi iko at a very high rate. And a lot of people are going through depression and they don't even know that they're going through depression. Because the thing with mental health problems, especially depression, unaweza kuwa uko depressed, people around you are seeing you're depressed, but wewe mwenyewe haujui. You can't really tell. Unaweza kuwa tu maybe una attribute to change in lifestyle, ama change in environment, ama maybe something can happen and trigger you to get into depression. And you've spoken about triggers. So the main triggers that I see, I can say maybe relationship problems, work, pressures in life, like trying to sustain livelihood, and maybe traumatic experiences kama maybe accidents, hizo cases za violence, and in other cases sickness yenye ina last for a very long time. I am glad I'm one of the people who actually planned for the pregnancy, and when it happened I was very happy, and nilianza kujitayarisha kutoka hiyo siku tu nilijua that I was expecting, nikaanza kujitayarisha for motherhood, because I knew I'm a person who has already gone through depression. So I'm at a very high risk of experiencing either prepartum depression or postpartum depression, and I started taking care of my mental health fiercely, hata more kushinda sasa before, kwa sababu now my life and my child's life was at stake, because when my mental health is not okay, the baby is also not going to develop well. So I can say I started from that very day when I knew that I had conceived my child. That's when I started preparing on how to take care of my mental health all through motherhood. My pregnancy, I can say it was smooth to some extent. Okay, it was smooth because I was mentally prepared, but I did experience some cases of like I developed high blood pressure, so it was termed a high risk pregnancy. And through the pregnancy, nashukuru I had a good support system. Walikuwa wananiangalia, like when I need anything wananishughulikia, so ikanisaidia. The high blood pressure haikunisumbua, and by the time I was about to deliver ilikuwa imestabilize. So I can say that's the only challenge that I experienced, but most of my pregnancy I really enjoyed myself. apart from zile normal symptoms, nili feel like it was something that I was ready for. I remember the first time I went to hospital and my pressure was high. I had just found out that I was pregnant, but I had not gone to confirm blood tests kwa hospitali. And what happened was I used to experience very sharp pain, and it would be very extreme to the point where hata siwezi tembea, and it can happen like twice. Mara ya tatu I noticed this is something that I need to go to hospital for. So we went with my child's father to kenda clinic, sasa the first clinic visit. And nakumbuka tulikuwa tumetumia tu like private means, but bado vile tulifika walinipima pressure and they asked me if I had been walking for so long because it was very high. And I was shocked because I expected my pregnancy itakuwa too easy. You know, there's planning and then there's life. You can't always plan for life. It happens the way it wants to. So nikaanza kufikiria, I planned for this, I'm ready for this, and now being told my pregnancy is high risk. There are things I wanted to do. Will I be able to do them? Will I be able to go through with this pregnancy fully vizuri? I had a lot of worries, but I'm glad that the father of my child was very supportive, and also my family walikuja wote, na pia basic needs, basic rights, other champions wenye tunafanya nao. I'm very glad that walikuwa there kuni support. They used to encourage me. Wanani encourage ni kule vizuri, ni practice self care, niishi life to stress free, na pressure ikarudi ikastabilize. I can say the one thing that I was a bit anxious about being a first time parent was experiencing labor. Because you are told, after your pregnancy it's nothing, time ya labor sasa ndio utajua uchungu wa mama. And those things they used to encourage me because I would be excited to go through it, but pia ilikuwa inanifanya nakuwa anxious, naanza kujiuliza nitaweza kweli? And some other things that I was learning about vile mtoto ana develop zilikuwa zinanifurahisha, zingine zinanishangaza. I'm like, God really does a wonderful job to create. And I started now respecting even my parents for what they went through, because now I'm seeing it's not as easy as I thought. Even though I had planned for it and I was ready mentally, it was still not as easy as a walk in the park. I can say there are still very many challenges, and you still need to be very careful, take care of your mental health. So I can say not all of it was easy and happy and jovial, but I'm glad for the whole experience. After now I knew I was pregnant, we partnered with another mental health champion, na tukaanza kuplan how we are going to write a song for mental health, kwa sababu tulikuwa tumekuwa champions for now I think that was the second year, and tukarealize we are artists, kwa nini hatujafanya kitu yote on mental health? Why don't we do something? So we partnered and we wrote a song. It's called Champion. The other champion anaitwa King Jaffa, and the song is on YouTube. It's by King Jaffa featuring Khisa. Inaitwa Champion. Part yangu ni chorus. I can just say what how it goes. Ni shine on your inner light. Let the whole world know what you are going through. If you're feeling overwhelmed, here's what you have to do. You have to speak up. So to encourage watu to speak up on mental health problems, because we believe that conversations on mental health, they do change lives. And kwa the verses, so King Jaffa anajaribu tu sasa highlight how mental health can affect you, and pia ana highlight some of the mental health problems that people go through and how people with mental health are treated. Mental health problems, sorry.
What you going through, and a secret anymore. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, here's what you have to do. You gotta speak up, speak up. Conversation change lives. You gotta speak up, speak up. If you wanna save lives.
Clients are ready to have this conversation on mental health, and I think the reason why is because more and more people are experiencing mental health problems. See, vile kitambo we used to believe mental health is for certain people, people who are experiencing certain problems. Now, more and more people are experiencing due to different reasons, the different triggers that I had mentioned. And I think now people are seeking help. Even those who are not seeking help, they are seeking information to know how they can help those who are going through mental health problems. But I can say there's little information. So even when we go to those events where we are engaging the public, unapata people are very curious, they have so many questions, and I think it would be better if now we can continue having these conversations to normalize. Let's normalize mental health. When we are sick, we go to hospital to treat our bodies. Why not our minds? Why not taking care of our minds the same way we take care of maybe our body health? The advice that I can give someone who is planning to journey into motherhood, I say journey because you're being introduced into a whole new hood, motherhood. So it's a journey. You have to get there. You have to plan how you're going to get there. Vile tu unaendanga safari, unapanga kesho, previous day unapanga kesho nitaamka at this point, unapack nguo, unakuwa ready, una make sure you have everything that you need. You need to also do the same with motherhood. And the thing that happens mostly is we focus on the preparing for the baby. We forget about preparing for our own healing and our own journey. This is a journey of 2 people or maybe 3 people. You, the child, and now sasa the rest of the community to welcome the child. So don't just prepare for the community and the baby and forget about yourself. That's one thing that I can say mothers we are not told enough. Yeah, so if you can, try and plan for how you're going to heal. When you're planning for the baby, plan also for how you're going to be supported after delivery, how you're going to support your baby, how you're going to take care of your mental health after the baby arrives. I can say one thing that nimelearn inanisaidia na mental health yangu pia ni kuangalia mtoto wangu as a person instead of just a baby. This is someone who is going to do things in life and live their own life. So it helps me not to be too enmeshed into my child's life, na pia sikuwe too enmeshed into my life. That's why I believe I'm still able to do things that I am passionate about na bado namchunga mtoto. Na pia nikinotice yeye kuna vile labda anapenda a certain thing, I allow him pia kukua himself. I can say pia as mother and baby we do take self-care walks every Sunday. Tunatoka tu tunateka walk ili pia yeye ajifunze to take care of his mental health. That's for the both of us now, not just for me and not just for him. Self-care is when you do something that rejuvenates your mind, your body and your soul. So for me it is listening to music and taking walks and sometimes doing yoga or talking to my baby like a grown person. Like I just talk to him ni kama any other person. And for another person it might be cooking, for another person it might be going maybe to the gym, working out. For another person it can be hanging out with friends, reading, going to church. It's different for everyone, but it's just that one thing that you can do, which after you do it, you feel like you have rejuvenated your mind, your body, and your soul.
What a mind-blowing story. And we're not done yet. We'll be right back. Do not go anywhere.